It is a nasty day in Richmond today. Cold and wet, but that's okay. On the way to work. Wanted to have a conversation today about meritocracy. So meritocracy, for the most part, is this idea that your success, the goal is success. Meaning, I went to Harvard, I went to Yale, I got this job that paid a lot of money. I'm the best chess player on the planet, whatever that is, like whatever that thing is. In a political circle, for the most part, this boils down to education and political power or wealth. Meritocracy feels great, and to some degree, it's deceptively feels natural. It's not natural though, but it feels that way because it feels like, well, I earned this. I did it. I went to the school. I put in the work. I studied like this. I had a family that gave me a lot of money, and whatever, however that boils down to it. But it feels like I did this because I did this. I earned this, and like I said, that feels natural. And all the problem is, oftentimes that's completely disassociated from the value of the thing that the person did. Like, so think of it as, well, I ran this corporation and they're giving me $50 million. Now, the minimum wage is like $7 and some change. The lowest paid worker at the company made, let's say, $8. Let's say the highest maybe $120,000 outside of the CEO. Maybe somebody's making a little bit more, but $50 million? What the fuck are you doing for $50 million? Or in situations where somebody would, literally drive the company into the ground and then get a bonus, X number of millions when they leave the company. Now again, those people in their minds, well, I earned this. It doesn't matter that the people in the company don't make that much money. It doesn't matter that their wages have stayed flat. It doesn't matter that they ship their jobs abroad. I did this. I made this money, so fuck everybody else. The problem with meritocracy at the end of the day is that it doesn't take into account people. Like, it doesn't take into account the inherent value of a person. So, a person is born, and meritocracy, for the most part, just says, well, that person is worth whatever that person can do. Meaning, if that person can earn $10 an hour, then that's what that person's worth. If $10 an hour is not enough to support, that person's ability to pay for meds, to pay for food, to pay for maybe some kind of entertainment or something during the course of his life, it sucks for him. He should have worked harder. He should have did more. The fact that he's just a person in and of itself is not enough to warrant personal fulfillment. That's the problem with meritocracy. At the end of the day, as a person, you have value. You have an inherent value. That inherent value is there whether or not you get a job, whether or not you become a billionaire, whether or not you do anything. The fact that you exist means you have value. I don't know what that's called, but it's something, and it's not meritocracy. Also, meritocracy doesn't even take into account how the person made that money. At the end of the day, it's just, you're successful, so awesome. And then it has this insidious aspect that in capitalism, it gets the people who are associated with the Ponzi scheme, or the people who are the victims of the Ponzi scheme, to advocate for the Ponzi scheme. So I give you an example. So let's say you see somebody there's two parts to that. They advocate for the Ponzi scheme, and anytime something goes wrong in their life, they consider it purely their fault. They don't consider it purely as a function of what they're in. They don't consider it a function of society, or that the policies or that governance is the issue. They consider it themselves. Oh man, that job was shipped overseas. Now I'm working at Walmart. That's my fault. I should have did more. Or I'm having difficulty feeding my family. This fucking job isn't paying me much. Or I'm unemployed. Yeah, I mean, you can make a case that those people might have fucked up somewhere along the way. It's possible. A lot of people fuck up. Being fucked up is part of being a hurt person. But does that mean that they shouldn't eat? It doesn't mean that they shouldn't be able to get health care. No, it doesn't. I mean, even if you look at crime, you can make a case that crime and poverty go hand in hand. Or at the very least, if you have to do something to make ends meet, you're probably going to do something to make ends meet, whether it's a crime or not. So, yeah, meritocracy has fallout. The other part to that was it allows the people to advocate for their decisions. So what I mean is, in the same way that a person says, oh man, I didn't do enough, I didn't do X, Y, Z, so this position that I'm in life is worth it. It also works on the other way, which is weird and backwards, but when the people were advocating for $15 an hour at Walmart, I heard some people say, well, I only make $16 an hour. Or they're just doing French fries and they want $15 an hour. I mean, the argument being, well, they're only doing fries. Why should they have they be able to have a living wage? They don't look at it from the standpoint of, well, maybe I'm not making enough. They don't even look at that standpoint if you're looking at productivity gains from, back to 1970 to now. Productivity gains were like 80%, and wages stay stagnant. They don't look at it in the standpoint and say, well, wait, I should be making more. I mean, look at productivity, I should be making a lot more. My life should be a lot easier. They look at it purely from the standpoint of that guy. No, that guy shouldn't be making that much. That guy shouldn't have a living wage. They're essentially arguing on behalf, which is amazing. They're arguing on behalf of the company or arguing on behalf of the billionaire in order to keep wages down. Meritocracy, gotta love it. It's like the propaganda arm of capitalism. And so instead of, people act like wealth consolidation, like where you have these large amounts of consolidated wealth. They act like that's a bug of capitalism. That's a feature. That's kind of the point. Meritocracy is its way of getting people convinced that, hey, maybe one day, if I study enough, if I do enough, I'm going to be one of those people. Dude, you're not. Most likely not. And at the end of the day, that selfishness or that justifiable selfishness to some degree allows our society to be where it is. You could have a society where the goal is the fulfillment of the people involved in that society, where people say, where the society is constructed in a way that works towards the fulfillment of the person. That, if you want to go to school, you're covered. If you want to get medical care, you get medical care, you're covered. You're not struggling from paycheck to paycheck. You're not in this situation of desperation. State, at that point, its function is to, of course, manage affairs, but also to make sure, or at the very least, help you have a good life. Not just take gobs of wealth and funnel it to the top so that they can have a good life. The goal isn't for a private enterprise to have a good life. The goal is for everybody, people in general. And yeah, you may not have somebody having $40 billion. What the fuck do they need $40 billion? What are you doing for that? Shit, man. So that's my spiel. I guess my feeling is I wish the world was a better place. And you get there just by changing the language and changing how you think about stuff. I mean, if you think, well, yeah, I only make $15 an hour, but that fried cookie seemed $15. Well, I should make more too, because as a person, your life matters. You being able to have a living wage or being able to live matters. It doesn't matter because society says it matters. It matters because you have an inherent worth as a person. It's that simple to me. In general, it's that simple. So, I think society should back that up. I don't think it should work against that. And if you're giving huge amounts of money to the top, and if you're just funneling money and funneling resources to the top at the expense of everybody else, if you're like saying, oh, I'm going to cut Social Security, I'm going to cut Medicare, which are, minor services, those things should be further, but that's not helping anybody. If anything, that's undercutting people. Personally, I think we should have a green jobs program. Personally, I think the energy sector should be nationalized. Global warming to the point where it's eating the country, eating the world. Again, private enterprise for just a few people. all of us are suffering for it. So, yeah, I do think the world should be reconfigured. And I do think the world could be reconfigured. It's just a matter of how are you thinking about how society should be organized. If you're thinking in the sense of, well, people are more important than anything else. People are important. And let's organize society around people. Well, that's pretty good. If you say, yeah, people are important to a degree, but corporations and profit, the acquisition of profit, matters more than anything else. Essentially a legal fiction designed to create this illusion of power, just because they have, again, a fictional thing that other people want. It's weird to me. It's strange that people allow it to get to that point, but it is. All right, ending it now. Have a good day, everybody.